us begin our morning MAO right now. Okay, guys, good morning to you once again. This is Cal, and today is the 3rd of August. All right. Today you may, although my voice is still there, but you may feel my features are not that fantastic because I got my Moderna jab on Sunday, and it was okay on the night. It was okay yesterday, but last night, I think the effect came in already. So my whole body is aching a little bit. I'm very lethargic. I feel tired. Yeah, indeed. So if along the way, if I'm not off, then please forgive me. All right, it's not on purpose. Okay. All right. Good morning to you once again, to Min Hui and Gary, to all of you. All right. Today, market booked some profits. Okay, market booked some profits last night. Last night we saw the market taking some profit. Yes, indeed, it took some profit. But is it the start of this correction? All these things, I think no. I repeat myself, no, I don't think so. I believe that this is still the trend is still positive, because as long as the Federal Reserve is in the market, this is going to be very difficult for the market to come down. Now, whether or not the Federal Reserve is flying the plane in the right direction, the right way, it doesn't matter. It's still flying. So that's why this joke is from the internet, is that it looks like the plane is flying upside down, right? But as long as the passengers are feeling okay, as long as the plane is still flying, so there's really no need to worry. So that's the reason why people are saying that the Federal is getting it wrong, but it's still getting it right. Okay, so that is the reason why this picture for this morning. All right, because you can see that, right? Look at it during Lehman Brothers. Okay, during Lehman Brothers crisis, it was so bad. But we're talking about financial institution going down, and the whole recession took about 1.5 years before we walk it out. And the time the money that was used was less than $1.5 trillion. Take a look, everybody. The money that was used was less than $1.3 trillion. Can you see that? Okay, less than that. Okay, and the market walked out of it after 1.5 years. Now this time round, wow, look at it. Look at it. We have used $4 trillion in a space of 2 years, okay, 1.5 years to be precise, and we have already walked out of recession. Okay, we have technically walked out of recession. Okay, so 4 trillion versus 1.3 trillion, different, much different, right? So of course, as I say, if you give me 4 trillion, I'll definitely make sure your life will be very, very wonderful. All right, so that's what happened, and now you understand why. As long as the Federal Reserve keep on pumping money in this way every month without fail, we'll bring in the $120 billion into the mortgage-backed securities. Every time they do this, then the market has no way to come down. It's very clear that this is what will be happening. And based on what Jerome Powell speaks last time, it seems that he's still going to do that. All right, so make sure that today, disclaimer as usual, right? Whatever I share is my personal view. End of the day is that you make your final decision, all right? So if you have read the above, you accepted it and identified me. All right, before we start into the charts form, do note quote of the day for all successful traders. I think investment psychology is far the more important element, followed by risk control, with the least important consideration being the question of where to buy and sell. Now, Tom Basso is also another very good trader, a very good Wall Street trader. This means that, right, when you break it down, trading is all about buying and selling, but without the right mindset and the risk management skills, many things can go wrong. I totally agree with this. If you do the right mindset and you don't have the risk control, even though you know when to buy, when to sell, you may not get the best of it, and sometimes it can turn against you. All right, so that's why he's saying that, right, the investment psychology is more important, okay, and followed by risk control, because if not, where to buy, what to sell, it's not going to be effective, okay? All right, so before we go into the global news and stuff, let's look at the charts right now. Okay, let's bring the charts in. Okay, so what we have now to this morning, we have a very, very slow morning now. We have this China A50 is kind of flat this morning, not really moving, but definitely supported at the 61.8 level. Definitely is highly supported at the 61.8 level, which is 14,966. So as long as the market stays above this figure, the market will still be positive. Now, yesterday, we also saw that this is actually a BNB, right? It's a BNB. So traders, watch out for this. This could actually mix the market or breaks the market. All right, Hong Kong has started trading already. Let's look at Hong Kong right now. Hong Kong, let's go. Okay, Hong Kong has just started trading. You can see that I just put in the market straight away. The pivot 1 and pivot 2 is automatically calculated, as you all know that. So what do we have for today? Now, today for the Hang Seng, the opening price is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2, okay? But the KSI, you can see, is definitely red. So, which means that the market, the chances of the market coming down, if it goes below OP, very good chance you're going to see KTR -1 traded, -1 traded, okay? So if the market can stay above OP, then maybe it will go to KTR +1, all right, maybe because the KSI is red. So you see the choice of words I use is, if it's below OP, good chance that you go to KTR -1. If it stays above OP, maybe we'll go to KTR +1. So you can see that it's a choice of words and difference there that separate the buying and the selling. So let's look at the Hang Seng right now. Okay, we are very near to KTR -1 already in the morning. Oh, we have traded KTR -1. Wow, okay. So that is live. The market has triggered KTR -1 and immediately it rebounded, but you can see that the impact is definitely there. So as long as I do my homework, I will know exactly what to do. And once the market opens, right, you can really make some money, and that's it. The trading day is almost over. Now, of course, you may say, "Okay, but this is just a 5-minute chart." I say, yeah, indeed. But of course, who is going to stop you from trading a 1-minute chart if you really want to do that, right? Okay, so what's happening now is that the market indeed has hit KTR -1, and because the KSI is red in color for the day chart, and the intraday chart also KSI is red at the moment, there is a possibility for the market to come down to KTR -2, and that's 26,032. All right, that is what could happen if the market stay in this manner or the market close below the KTR -1. But of course, if the market do recover and goes up, then the KTR +1 will be here at 26,283. Okay, that will be the figure for upside. But if you ask me, right, based on what I'm seeing right now in the US market, the NASDAQ and everything, very good chance if the market later on, if the Hang Seng do close in the 5-minute chart, do close below the KTR -1, there's a good chance it will come down to KTR -2. Okay, good chance on it. But now you can see is we have perfectly touches a KTR -1 and rebounded. So you can see that again, we are definitely not the only people in the world that know how to calculate KTRs in the market. So that is why I say the system itself is really incredible. All right, it's live for you with Hang Seng. Okay. All right, so that is Hang Seng. Let's go in China now. China, oh, no wonder China has recovered. Okay, earlier was a bit flat. Now it's trading a bit higher. That's the reason why you can see that the Hang Seng has recovered. Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's look at the Dow Jones, shall we? Now, last night, Dow Jones created a new all-time high again. Okay, a new all-time high. So I need to just let you take a look at certain things here. Okay, let me just move the chart a little bit. Okay, so you can see that, okay, this is a new BNB, all right? It's a new BNB. So can you see that? It's a new BNB. And the beautiful part is that yesterday, the Dow Jones hit the MA30 again and managed to close above it. So if you again remember, I told you, right, the MA30 is a really powerful level to watch every single day. Every day, every time when it goes there, the market just know where to stop. And once it stops there, there's a very good chance the market may actually recover from there. So what I'm trying to say is this: today, you must make sure there's another important date number to watch out for today. All right, take a look. Everybody, now this is the new BNB, so I need to put in the new BNB first. So this is the RL, this is the SL, right? Okay, I have the BNB now. Okay, then I have the moving average MA30, so I'm gonna put it there. Okay, so we have the MA30 and the BNB SL almost identical. So what number are we having that? That number is about 34,820. Okay. So which means that as long as the Dow Jones can stay above 34,820, the Dow Jones is still going to be positive. But if the market breaks below the 34,820, then we may see some selling. We may see some selling. So why do I say that? Because you notice that it's a BNB, right? So it's a BNB, then definitely if we were to put the BNB indicator, let me just put it in. Okay, try to change the. Anna. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so you can see that if the market do break below the BNB SL, as you can see over here, if it does do that, then it will be going down, and this downside can be all the way down to 34,436. Okay, so if let's say if the market do breach below the BNB SL level and it breaks below the MA30, there is a very high possibility that the Dow Jones can go down to 34,436. Okay, so that is the BNB. But of course, if the market stays above the BNB, then of course the market has the right to go back again to the new all-time high. And of course, that will probably bring it to above 35,600 level, which is here. Okay, so we talk about that as a progress. Okay, all right, so at least you know that this is the BNB and the levels that you can watch out for to trade on the market. Well, the moving average is still the same. The MA200 is still firmly around this area, which happened to be the 95% region. People have been asking, is it a possibility for the market to pull down 5%? Now, if let's say we are talking about really a good correction, I seriously think that, right, we probably, please don't quote me and say probably, okay? We probably have seen a high yesterday, because why? As you know, I've been saying this, whenever a market hit all-time high and it happened to be a BNB, right, you must watch out for that. So which means that when you see an all-time high being traded, and of course, and the market creates a BNB by the closing, there is a possibility, usually the market may pull back a little bit. So the last time we see something like this, it was here, remember? It was a BNB and it's all-time high. Yeah, and then it came down, okay? So will we see the same thing again? We won't know, but you can take note of that. So of course, if the market do pull back for some reason, let's say the market do pull back, it will stop around here first, okay? That's a BNB SL. But if it loses that, then maybe there is a possibility to see this, okay? Now, what's a possibility? Well, it's not going to be high unless there's really dramatic profit taking. But like I say again, we have all the five, the FANGs counter, all the earnings is out already, and apparently now they are giving lower numbers for their next quarter. So kind of realize that, right, the market may not have any more room to go higher, at least for now. The market must take profit so that the market can come down and buy again. So that's my personal take, 33,437. This is the level that I'll be watching out. So when the market comes down, we will look into this, okay? Now, this weekly chart wise, now you can see that the weekly chart is now trading below my short-term trend line. But again, it's still too early to call. We won't know whether is this going to be the turning point. But definitely, we are watching this very closely, because the last time we see something like this, the market pulls back down, okay? So we watch the market. But this week, we have a very big week, right? We have all the data, with the non-farm payroll, ADP numbers. So this one, we have to watch it very, very closely, all right? All right, good morning to you, Gary and Janet. Okay, let's look at the Hang Seng right now. Hang Seng now has came down perfectly, came down, hit the KTR -1. Then it recovers and it's now hanging around the opening price, still pretty sideways at the moment. So we'll come to this later. Now the Dow Jones, let's take a look. Now for Dow Jones today, let's take a look. Now Dow Jones today, we have a very interesting thing that you must take note of. Okay, let me explain this to you slowly. Okay. Now yesterday was a CCYR, right? Yesterday. So by right, when the market opens here, this is where you can short the Dow Jones and the stop loss will be placed here. So if you have done that yesterday on the CCYR on a day chart, you will likely be stopped out at the high. And then after that, the market pulled back down all the way, okay? So if you have done that, you lost money. But the problem is, but the market still end of the day ended red. So the next question will be, can we short again? So by right, the opening price of the entry bar is a level that you can consider to short again if the Dow Jones go there and then come back down. If you want to do that, there's nothing wrong. It's totally in line with the system. Or you can choose to wait for it to break below today's OP. Then what happened? You can enter below OP of today because it's still between the CCYR setup. So the stop loss is still going to put it here. This will be the stop loss. Please remember to put the buffer. So if you choose to enter the short, you have a shorter range. If you enter the short at the OP, then your range will be larger. But of course, the risk-reward ratio is still the same in a way. That means how much you risk is still the same number. But of course, the profit margin, you have to adjust accordingly. Okay, so if you understand this, if the market breaks below and sell down, okay, then because the KSI is green, right? So it's kind of difficult to sell. If you want to sell, you have to reduce your lot size also. Now, the first support you can see is at this point here, 34,834. All these are all drawn by the system, KCB. Now, only if the Dow Jones really breach below the pivot 2 today, then maybe we can see something like this, which is 34,533. That's because this is the KCB level. Now, of course, the next KCB level is drastic. If the market loses 34,533, wow, the next selling is a big one. This is as much as 600 points. So I'm not too sure will this all happen, but if you look at it itself, right, with the BNB right now, and the BNB as an all-time high, and the market now is trying to stay above the KHRSL level. If any time, if the market loses this point, maybe there is a 60% chance we will see this happening. Okay, so traders, you just keep your eye on this market. Okay, all right, just keep your eye. Okay. Now, how about the NASDAQ? Now, NASDAQ yesterday did another doji again. So, but beautifully, you can see the NASDAQ stays above MLP and then rebounded. So that's why the MLP is so important. And of course, you can see right now, the market is kind of sideways for the last 4 days. So the MA30 is somewhere around here, which is going to write it down for you. Take note. That is 14,870 range. Okay, that is the the MLP of the NASDAQ. And of course, the BNB that we have is still here. Okay, so this is the structure. So although it's above the BNB RL, but the market now is going to fight its MLP and also fight the MA30 to make sure that it stays up. But like I say, with all the earnings are already, right, it's going to be tough for this NASDAQ to go any higher. So my personal view is this: NASDAQ intraday trade, no problem. To hold for long term, I don't really agree with that. So just go slow, all right? Morning to you, Henry. Okay, so all clear. So that is the NASDAQ. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you the conventional chart, then I show you the TWB chart so that you can actually do your own final risk assessment, all right? Okay, now NASDAQ. Okay, now NASDAQ, you can see that the KSI has been red. That's the reason why I'm not comfortable. You can see that although the market is still quite, consolidating and the color is still red to yellow, but the KSI at the bottom is actually red. So normally when I see this, I get very uncomfortable. And if the market later on do break below the low of yesterday, there could be some selling, because usually when I see KSI red and the market's going up, right, if the market do break the low, there could be some selling. Now, this is something that I share in PTP, and I really appeal that, right, if you guys want to make money from the market, join PTP, because I'm very sure this round of PTP, if you join, you'll be in line, you'll be in time to catch a big movement, and that will cover your PTP very nicely, all right? So definitely, to me, this is a good time to join PTP, all right? Contact Susan if you are interested to do that. Okay, so for today, the market opening price is already below pivot 2. So by right, below OP, below pivot 2 is a sell, okay? So by right, below P2, below OP is a sell, okay? So traders, take note of that. Below OP, below pivot 2, it will be a sell on every CCYR. And with the KSI rate, then the downside pressure is even stronger. Okay. Now, S&P 500, now S&P, we saw a very beautiful rally. Then after that, it breaks below MLP and sell off. All right, so this again doesn't look that pretty. Then we don't have the new MLP. The new MLP is somewhere around here. And this morning, the market have rejected MLP and pulled back. And of course, now the new MA is somewhere around here. Now, usually I would draw my MA around this time between 8 to 9 a.m. so that we get the freshest and most accurate the level. Now, some people did ask me, Kel, why don't we use it in the afternoon or at night? I said that we usually use it in the morning because that is a level that most of the boys will talk about it, and then they'll utilize it for the whole day. And we don't need to run around and always look at the MA just to get the best number. So 43, 43.69 will be today's MA30. So MA30 number usually will change every day unless the market is flat. So the 43.69 will be the MA30 level. That will be the level that we are watching at. And every time when the MA30 get triggered, you notice that the market do recover. So that's why I'm not going to be half worried. If the market do come down, we do expect to see some recovery first. Only when it breaks down, then we have some trouble. Okay, so this is something again you need to understand very, very well. Okay, guys, as again, those who just joined us, apology if I look a little bit tired or I sound a little tired because I say I just took my Moderna jab on Sunday and the effect has came in yesterday, last night. So now I feel very jittery. My eyes are actually trying very hard to open up actually. Yeah, so apologize on that, okay? Okay, so that's S&P 500. Let's look at the S&P now. Okay, S&P today, we have a bit of different from the rest, okay? We can see that S&P 500 is a yellow red. That means that by right, this is a day chart sell. CCYR day chart is a sell. The thing is while the market is down, but the KSI stay green. So if you're going to short the market on day chart to long-term position, you need to reduce your position by half because the KSI happen to be green. Next, the market, as you can see right now, need to take this away. It's not supposed to be there. Okay, you can see that there's multiple KCB, 4388, 4379, 4362, right? We have multiple KCB around this area. So this will become all the support level. So I'm not going to be half surprised to see the market having some support along the way, okay, along the way. But do note today, if the market goes above OP, it will be below P2, it's a sell. And this morning, we saw the market purposely touch the P2 level and then return downwards. So which means that, right, today, if the market breaks below OP, it could be a selling day. And you can see right now on the M15 chart, you can see that the market really tried to go up first. All right, with the BNB, it tried to go up, but once it hit the pivot 2, it couldn't stay up. Now it's coming down. So most likely we could see some selling coming down on the pivot 2 side. Okay, all right, so we may see some selling. Now we just saw some selling in Hong Kong. Let's take a look. Hong Kong has, wow, okay, Hong Kong has really came down. I mentioned to you, if Hong Kong cannot stay above OP, Hong Kong will be coming down. And you can see now Hong Kong is going to come down, likely testing this point. As I mentioned to you, it should be testing 26,032 level today, based on what I'm seeing on the chart, because the day chart KSI is red, and now the 5-minute chart is red, and of course it's trading below OP. So with all the above, there's a good chance we could see 26,032 traded later today. Okay. All right, so that is the Hong Kong market. That's China now. China is back to flat again. That's the reason why probably Hong Kong has pulled back. And of course, the US equity market also has pulled back. So all these are the answers. Then what we have now is the DAX market. DAX yesterday did a strong sell down yesterday. Now, yesterday DAX, very beautiful. It opens here and then going up, right? Let me just show you the DAX day chart with our system. It'll be easier for us to understand this. Okay. All right, DAX, here we go. Okay, so yesterday, how do we look at DAX? Okay, so first of all, yesterday DAX opened above pivot 1. Okay, so yesterday DAX opened above pivot 1. So by right, it should be above OP, above pivot 1 is a buy. So it indeed went up initially, and the KSI is green in color, right? So therefore, above OP, above pivot 1 is a buy. But if the market goes below OP, right, this area we call it as an uncertainty zone, which usually we don't trade at all. We don't trade. Yeah, if the market really go below OP, the maximum is KTR -1 because the KSI happened to be green. Usually it will be KTR -1. But what happened yesterday was not really the case. Let's take a look. Now, this is the entire day movement of the DAX yesterday. Let's take a look. So by right, as we know, the red to yellow, then above OP, you can buy, right? And I told you it will go to KTR +1. And indeed, beautifully, it went all the way up as if that they know KTR +1 exists. But then after that, when the market failed to stay above KTR +1, and then the market do a CCYR, so that is the reason why I say if you see that, and if you want to sell, I can't stop you. But we know that the market, if it breaks OP, it will come down to KTR -1, which it really happened. Okay, it really happened. But what was insane was that when the price came down all the way to the pivot 1, do you notice that it actually stopped there? look at it, it actually stopped there. I mean, we're talking about this. This is a pivot level that's created on the spider system when the market opening price is up. So which means that no one will know what will happen throughout the whole day until this very point. And the incredible part is this: when the market hit that pivot 15511, it's just touched there, stopped there, and recover by itself. Oh my goodness, as if that there's someone there waiting for us, and the market recover all the way but missed the OP by a fraction. Okay. Then after that, we have the US market coming in, and that is where we can see that the profit taking resume later. But what is really insane is how on earth does we know that this will be the low or near the low of the day, because all these levels are all predetermined once the market opens. That is why the value of the indicator is all about that. So that's why I always tell people this: if you want to trade the market, just wait at those technical points. Just wait at the technical point, let the market come to you, then you trade from there. Okay, so now what you can see now, we have the new MA30. Okay, the market is trading below the market close below MA30. So 15561 will be the DAX MA30, and by closing below, right, likelihood there's a good chance today we can see DAX trading down further. Likely you test this point again, 15,418. Likely you test this point. Okay, but what I'm seeing right now, there's a very good chance you'll test this point, 15,418. So guys, if you are going to trade DAX, write down this number, 15,418. Okay. All right, so that is DAX. Let's look at the Nikkei right now. The Nikkei. Now Nikkei is still very clear. It is trading above MLP for today, but it's really been rooted below the MA30. And the last few days, you can see there's a long tail on the top side. That means there's a lot of selling. So this morning Nikkei went up first, but now it's coming back down and it's trading below OP. So that is why I believe that the Nikkei still got some room to go down lower. Okay, there's some room to go down lower. And of course, if you put a Nikkei chart right now to look at it, Nikkei. Okay, let's look at Nikkei. All right, for Nikkei, very clear. The opening price is now very near to the pivot 2, but the KSI happened to be green in color, happened to be green. So what do I say? Very simple, guys. You will know, right? If the market breaks below P2, it will be a sell. Break below P2 is a sell. So CCYR, break below P2 is a sell. Then we can aim for KTR -1. All right, KTR -1. Because the KSI happened to be green, you cannot do more than that. So if you look at the 15-minute chart for Nikkei, it has just came down, and now it's going to be near to the KTR -1. KTR -1 is 27,461 level. So if the Nikkei do come down, very easily the Nikkei will trade 27,461 level. Okay, so we will come back to this later on to see the Nikkei do come down there to 27,461. Okay, so I basically at one shot covered every equity market right now. Let's look at the commodities market. I'm sure you guys will know about gold, right? Okay, so what do we see on gold? Incredible. Yesterday, I tell you gold, there's a support level at 1805. That is the MA30. And incredibly, the low of the day was 1805. The gold came down to 1805, and then it went all the way up. All right. But unfortunately, towards the end of the day, it went back down again and created a doji. So which means that today could be a doji directional day. Today could be a doji. Today, could be a doji. Okay. Then leads to a directional day. It could be not 100%, but usually it happens. So what does it mean? That means that, right, today, if the market stays above OP, the gold will go up all the way. If the market stays below OP, then the selling will be all the way. So that's something that you want to watch out for today. Okay, so now let's take a look. Okay, we'll take this all away. You notice that yesterday, the MA30 and MA200 both tested and both recovered, right? So that's why it was a very strong buy for gold yesterday. But today, we need to watch out for, because gold today, the MA30 is somewhere here, about 1806. The MA200 happened to be around 1809. And the market now both lines are slightly below the current market. So if the gold do go above OP, then you are fine, you are safe. But if the gold stays below OP and breaks below the MA30, MA200, right, then we may see some selling down all the way to the level that I mentioned is 1787. So traders, you just have to take note that If the market do lose these two numbers, the next number that is likely may happen, it will be about one here first, 1798. That's the first level you can watch out for. If not, next number will be 1787. Okay, sorry, this number is not 1798. It's not this one. The number is 1797. So two numbers to watch out for, 1797 and 1787, two numbers, okay? So traders, watch out for these two numbers for today. If the price comes down, watch out for those potential support. The gold weekly charts, very clear, 1820 is a very, very strong resistance. Yesterday, the high was about 1819, missed the MLP by $1 single. So that tells you that the 1820 is a very strong resistance, and the market has to cross 1820 for further upside, okay? The 1820 on the weekly chart. Okay, so right now, again, 1820 is a very strong weekly chart. Okay, it has to clear it, then the market can go above. If not, there will be some form of resistance with gold in the market. Okay, so what we have now is the gold. We have gold movement. Let's look at the gold chart right now. Okay, so for today's gold, let's take a look. Okay, for today's gold, the opening price is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2, and the KSI is green in color. So which means that if the gold can stay above OP, there is still a possibility for gold to stay up all the way to 1830. But if the gold stays below OP, which is possible, then the gold may have to seek support at 1805, which is very incidentally near to the 1806 level by the MA 30. Okay, so there might be some support at 1805 if the market stays around there. Okay, all right, so this is something to watch out for gold. But because the KSI is green in color, the market still favors the upside. So if the market must stay above OP, then we can buy, okay? But if the market go below OP and hit 1805, look out for potential support. Who knows, you can buy somewhere near here and maybe buy at the low, okay? All right, I saw some selling now in the Hang Seng. Let's take a look, a quick one now. There's some selling in the Hang Seng. Wow, okay, Hang Seng, there's some selling in a moment. Okay, he tried to go up but failed, and it basically came down to KTR -2 already. Now it may even test KTR -3. So this is one thing to watch out for. For US Dow Jones, we also see some selling at the moment. This morning rejected at the TSCB level. Now it's coming down. If it breaks OP, then of course the one I told you about the day chart, you can consider to do a trade over there. Okay, so that is gold. Let's look at silver right now. Now silver, you can see it's incredible. For the third day in a row, silver touched the MA30. Each time it touched, each time it sells. So definitely this is not an uptrend counter. Uptrend counter will use the MA30 for a form of support to go higher. But if the market touch the MA30 and pull back, then of course this is actually a downtrend momentum, all right? So what can we look out for today? Now the silver today, the opening price, sorry, the MLP should be at $25.43, and the MA30 should be somewhere around here at $25.52. All right, yesterday, apology, we're supposed to open up the silver group chat, but there was some little misunderstanding, so we'll still do it later on. We'll get it done once after the MAO is over. Okay, thank you so much for that. Okay, so for silver, if it goes down, well, there is a very good chance to see silver going down, and it may actually come down to the chocolate bar level, and that's about $24.95 level. So there is a possibility for silver to drop down to $24.95 level if the selling momentum continues, okay? So we look at silver now in terms of the TWB system. For today's silver, now today's silver, you can see not very nice because the opening price is actually below pivot 1. And this is an inverse pivot. Again, let me just double confirm. Yes, today is an inverse pivot. Inverse pivot means that the pivot 1 became pivot 2, pivot 2 become pivot 1. Now, normally this means what? That means that the two level now become like strong magnet. So if the market stays below OP, then very good chance the silver will be forced down by the market, forced down because of the inverse pivot power. Only if it stays above OP, then it may be pulled back to $24 and $25.45. Then it may be pulled up. But with the KSI rate right now and this extension of the blue bar, I cannot believe that the market may come down instead. So if the market comes down, there will be this point for you to watch out for. There will be the profit taking that I suspect may happen for silver. Okay. All right. So that will be silver and gold. And let's look at the crude oil right now. Wow, look at crude oil. Now, crude oil is supposed to go higher. I was looking at $74, but it didn't really mean it. It actually pulled back all the way, go down all the way. This is really quite a bad shape there. Okay, let me tell you why do I expect it to go to the $24, right? It's the BNB. So let me just show you the BNB charting, then you can see for yourself. So you realize that there's a BNB at this point here, right? It's a BNB. So if I put the BNB indicator into the picture, you will notice that I was targeting $74 because this is the BNB. And when the market stays above the RL, I said that crude oil will go up to $74.03, right? I said that, but the market just missed the target by about 20 cents and then it crashed down. But at least something's there is that when it crashed down, right? Yes, indeed, it broke below the MA 30 and also break the BNB RL, but you notice incredibly it stopped perfectly at the BNB SL point. So there's two ways to look at it right now for crude oil. One, crude oil may actually stabilize here first, then maybe later on if we cross back above the BNB, the MA30 and above the BNB RL, it may still go up towards my $74 target. So that is for people who believe that this is going to go up. Now, for people who think they're going to go down, then of course you need to wait for it to break below. It has to go and trade close below $70.35. Then you can aim for here, which is about $68.51. Okay, so this is what you can look out for crude. For those who are involved in crude, this could be something interesting for you. You may want to watch out with that. So for the intraday crude oil, all right, for crude oil today, we have an interesting thingy. We have the opening price very near the pivot 1. So which means that as some crude oil stay above OP, it will be going upward again. And the KSI happen to be green. So there is a possibility for crude oil to recover. But of course, the crude oil came down yesterday because of the ISM data. So if the data are going to be influencing the crude for now, then of course, the fundamental is going against the technical. So that's the reason why you will see a bit of here and there challenges. Okay. I just saw some movement in the gold market. Let's do a quick one with the gold market. Okay, I told you gold is between people and people too, right? Okay, so now gold has tried to recover from the low end with BNB. So let's see whether it can stay above OP to give us some justification towards upside. Okay, so we have done all the indices, all the commodities. I hope that you guys enjoyed this session. All right, if you enjoy, please let's keep enjoy, ENJOY. All right, we'll take some water break. All right, I'm feeling really very not so good now. Yeah, I'm a guy who really can take, physical challenge, but oh, my eyes really trying to close. Thank you guys. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Michael. It's just a little bit of, help me out a little bit. And then we do this marketing, at least you go into it. Oh, I just saw Hong Kong breaking down. Wait a minute. What happened again? Wow, Hong Kong has break down. Okay, Hong Kong has broken down and likely you will trade KTR -3. So for those who have shorted Hang Seng, maybe at KTR -3, you can consider to buy back some position. KTR -3, you can consider the buyback some position, okay? KTR -3. Yeah, thank you, Angeline. Yeah, I'm drinking a lot of water and need rest. I think it's probably okay. Hang Seng is going to hit my KTR -3 in just a bit more. We can see the boys have been selling all the way. That's why you can see that. And yes, we have it. KTR -3 triggered. Wow. Okay, nice. Okay, right. So you can see very live. We do it throughout the whole day. For at least for the fourth morning now, you can see that I told you that Hang Seng, if it doesn't go above OP, Hang Seng will go down all the way. And indeed, it went all the way down to KTR -3. All right. So for those who are short the Hang Seng this morning, please buy back a position. This is very comfortable. You are already up by almost 250 points. Do take some profit. Okay. Don't be greedy. If not, you may miss out the bigger run. Okay. So please take a profit. Okay, thank you very much. We have covered all the charts right now. Let's look at the fundamental, all the global news and stuff like that. Okay, let's go. So if you think you have heard enough, you want to leave, you can continue with your daily trading day or your career, your life. All right, let's go. Now, of course, we have saw some of the data, but these are all the small caps. I mean, this is all the complete list of all the earnings for the day, complete list. So today, before opening price, before open, with Alibaba, it will come out the news. Alibaba news should be okay, but I suspect that their third quarter will be very bad. So that's why I do suspect to see some selling on Alibaba later. BP, okay, because of the crude oil going up. Then the rest, I don't know much damn of that, don't know much already. After close, well, don't really have anyone that I know, and I don't think there's going to be any big movement. Wednesday, tomorrow morning side, I don't see anything that caught my attention. Craft, not really lah. But after close, Roku, yes. Uber, yes. This two will be quite interesting to watch. Okay, this two will be interesting to watch. Then after that, that'll be all. Okay, at least for these 2 days. This is what I see right now. All right. Okay, so Susan go live once again. I haven't had a chance to talk to Susan yet. We've been very, very busy recently with a lot of other stuff. But she will still continue to do her Susan go live every day, Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on daily. And the night session itself, we will let you reducing it so that you can concentrate on other stuff. Okay, so we'll let you know later today. I haven't get a chance to talk to her yet. Okay, the Pro Trader program, I told you guys, the PTP, really go for it. There are people really coming in. Okay, you don't want to miss this opportunity to join us. I say, guys, it's really, really worth it. Let me explain to you why is it worth it. Let me show you live right now. Okay, live. Okay, so yesterday when we were looking at the Dow Jones yesterday, I was telling students of mine, the PTP student, to watch out for a particular short. Now, why is that so? Because you can see, right, that is this number. Can you see right now? There's this particular number here. Okay, all right, this number is 35,095. That is the first number that was available to us yesterday, but there's another number later on, and that number is 35,132. That is also the level that, and let me just show you live, whether, you know, I don't want to just say, then I don't show you anything to be there. Wait. Okay, let me show you guys. Okay, can you see that? This is our PTP group. Now, our PTP group actually got more than 119 people inside here. Okay, all are here. And you can see that yesterday, I purposely mentioned that on August 2nd, I said that the Dow Jones triggered 34,095. But I did mention that the Dow is still on uptrend. So if you trade, you be careful. I show them that after that, the market is a number 35,132. Can you see it's actually all on the system? So that means that when the Dow hit 35,132, right, if based on PTP, when you're trading with that, you will know that based on the KRW, the market is actually having some selling pressure. If the market hit 35,132, you consider to short. And that is whereby I mentioned again, if you want, you can go for the short. Then after that, when the price come back down, you can see when the price came down to 35,082, you can see that two lines are there, 35,132, 35,095. These two numbers is actually on your screen and reminding you that the market has triggered a very important technical point, and if the market cannot stay above it, you can sell. And of course, by the end of the day, I asked them anybody shorted, but apparently I think too late. It was very midnight, but some people shorted, right? A couple of the students shorted, and now we are already in about 200 points profit level. So that's why if you think that this version 3.9 is something very good and you want to do trading with that, then you can consider. You can see that there's also another technical line here. It's a trend line. So we also have trend line automatically drawn for you. Yes, indeed. So all these will be taught during the PTP program. If you're interested to get this software, version 3.9 is a free upgrade once you are a PTP student. Okay, all right. So that is PTP sharing with you. Okay, so contact Susan. All right, register with her, and you can get to learn it first before the class. The class will be on 14, 15, and 16 of August. Okay, so as I said, this is the new prices. We already uploaded to you guys the new price, the TWB 2021 System Premier price. A lot of good stuff over here. And of course, if you are still wanting to get the 1688 price, but you only get the 1688 package. So you have until 12th of August to contact Richard Heng to basically get your friends or family members to join us, but they can pay the 1688 or can pay the 2888. But of course, whichever they pay, you pay whichever package, all right? But if they want to go for a 2888, why not? Okay, in my opinion, it's worth it. Okay, so yesterday, the US economic date calendar, I told you we look at 60 as my target yesterday, right? Really, it came out 59.5. So that means it's below the forecast number again. So what happened? Of course, that's when the market decided that it's time to take some profit. Okay, usually when the data come out not so good, the market will just don't care and just continue to buy. But yesterday, seemingly they decided to take some profit. Okay, now tonight there's nothing. Tonight Tuesday, nothing. Tomorrow we have the ADP, ISM, non-manufacturing. This is manufacturing, and then after that Thursday with the initial jobless claim, and Friday is normal payroll and the unemployment rate. Okay, all right. So watch out for that. Yeah, let me take something out first. Okay, all right. So let's look and visit the Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones yesterday went up initially, then that's where it created an all-time high, and then it went all the way down and closed. So this is not a very good closing. A closing at the low is not a very good closing, especially when there's no news. That is whereby you have to take some profit. Okay, guys. So Dow tumbles nearly 100 points after the late day sell-off in the stock market. Okay, so the US stocks turns negative because now again they talk about COVID variant. They talk about the peaking of the economic growth and against the strong earning result. So now they're telling you that the COVID variant is an important thing. So I just say that this is just temporarily. Temporarily. If the market really want to sell, you will actually see more selling in the next few days. Okay. So we can see that the treasury yields also went down yesterday, right? Went down all the way below 1.2% yesterday. And of course, although the COVID cases in America is actually increasing by the day, but overall it's still reducing. Okay, so that's why it's quite hard to understand what do we mean. It means that overall itself is still down, but the recent movement is up. So I don't know where you're going to focus on. And of course, when the COVID is ongoing, the share price of travel stocks all get hit, right? I told you before. That's why I told you the major airlines don't buy. I know that people have been calling for buy. I understand that, but I say no, because as long as the COVID is still around, it's going to be very difficult for airline shares to be going higher. Okay, so the market now is driven by earnings and multiples and COVID. Okay, so this is what you're saying. Okay, so earnings and the price valuation and COVID. All right, this is the main thing they talked about yesterday. So let's go through what happened yesterday, shall we? The opening price was between the two pivot. By right with the KSI green, it's an up day, right? Which indeed it went up. The Dow Jones actually went up. The more it opens, it stayed up above OP, and then it went all the way up, stay above pivot 1. So by right, all the OP, above CCRY is a buy. You see that? If you look at it carefully, right? All right, although that is a buy, the market overall got go up. This one all go up, this one stop loss. This one got go up, but it may not hit your 1x. Okay, so we have 3 wins, 2 losses. But the point is this, if you look carefully, this is a BNB. You notice that? This is a BNB. And this BNB came with what? Came with a trigger KTR plus 1, trigger pivot 1. So this is a very, very classical CCYR sell signal because it triggered the pivot. And I told you before, if it comes to a BNB, you have to be careful. And if you do the RL and SL, you notice that that's how the Dow collapsed. And when it came back down, you notice that once it hit the pivot 2 level, that's where it stays there. So you can see that everything is always happening exactly at the pinpoint spot there that we always say, right? So that's why I told you guys, you don't need to be a guru like this. You just wait. Once you see something like a BNB, then you see something like CCYR, and you know this is CCYR triggering the pivot 1, even though the market doesn't look to sell, what you can do is you can sell some and look at the market. You can see that a lot of time, the thing just keep on repeating and repeating. Agreeable? All right, so that's what happened yesterday on the Dow Jones. And look at the gold now. For gold, it's also very clear. The gold, once it opens, you can see that it opens nicely. But yesterday, gold opened below pivot 2. So by right, below OP, below pivot 2, it should be a sell on gold, right? But because the KSI happened to be green in color, the downside has become limited. So 2 things you can think of. Number 1, below OP, below pivot 2, sell based on CCYR. But if the market goes down to KTR -1 or -2, because of the KSI that's green, you consider to buy back some position, okay? So that is what you should be doing yesterday. And if you look at it, beautiful, right? The market was going sideways, then after that it had to go down. But once it came down, you look at it, the KTR -1 and the low of the day, oh my goodness. Look at the way the market hit the KTR -1 and stopped there. And you can realize that, right, we had already predicted that the market will come down to KTR -1 because it's below OP, below pivot 2. But once it hit the KTR -1, because the day chart KSI happened to be green in color, you can actually consider to look at CCRY to buy. Consider, okay? So you look at that, CCRY you buy, you will make back 1x profit. CCRY you buy, this one you lose money. CCRY you buy, this one eventually you make money, the stop loss wasn't triggered. CCRY you buy, okay, you can consider to buy, all right, for this, but that is if you want to buy. If not itself, right, yesterday, seriously, once it crossed above the OP, nothing much you can do because above OP, well, it's below pivot 2, it's considered the, what we call it as the, this uncertainty zone, so we don't really apply on that. But nonetheless itself, right, at least you know very clear that yesterday, because the KSI is green, if the market go to KTR -1, you can consider look for buy signal as long as it gives it to you. So all these are the telltale sign that why when the market KSI is red in color, you can see hardly move. But when KSI is green in color, even though it's flat, right? Even though it's flat movement, after that the market shoot up already. Because why? This is the build up of the KSI, build the boys. So that's the reason why you really need to have KSI with you so they can see the market and wait. Many people, they actually went in to buy here yesterday, but when the price starts to go up and down, right, in a very, irregular fashion, right, people get freaked out and then they cut their position. But before they know it, the market shoot up already. All right, so that is why they miss a good chunk of this. Okay, guys, hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Remember, all these techniques all can be written down in advance. Where it opens, what the KSI say, you can already tell yourself what to do already. All right, cool, huh? Okay, so that will be the recap. Let's go into the local and global news, and then we go to the alternate market news. Now, Cathy Wood ARK funds continue to buy more Robinhood stock. Now, I think Cathy Wood really like to do things differently. So these two are the CEO and co-founder. All right, looks cool, right? They are very cool looking, right? Both long hair. Straight away, remind me of the twin train or Dongli Huoche. The two feeling is that. So apparently, right? Cathy Wood used the ARK Invest going to buy more shares of this Robinhood. So they bought about 1.85 million more shares, about $65 million. Okay, the average price that they bought was $35. So previously they bought even more. All right, so in short now, where is Robinhood share price now is about $36 and probably 20 plus cent, but $26, 20 plus cent. So it's just it's high. The average price now is at the lower end. So they do make money from here itself, okay? But of course, we have all seen that there are many times when Cathy would buy, right, the institutional will actually go away. They rather sell instead. So let's see how does Robinhood go. Robinhood actually, like I say, it will be very positive when there are more Reddit traders trading. But of course, at the moment now, you can see that the whole sentiment has dropped because why? Some of the states have reduced the monthly payout to people. So which means that people now have to go back to job, or if the market has to pull back a little bit more significantly, then people know that it's time to get off on the stock market and they may go back to work again. All right, now CDC says that the 7-day average of US daily COVID cases has surpassed a peak last summer, but they also tell you that although it's higher, but overall it's down at the moment. So based on the last 7 days average, right, it's about 72,000 cases on last Friday. Wow, that's a lot, my goodness. All right, but still, they feel that, right, the overall average for the last few months is still is dropping already. So a high number with an average lower number. So you can see the last Friday, actually the US have 100,000 cases, COVID cases in one single Friday, but you notice that the market hardly talk about this. The market just move on with it. So that's why you see media can be very easily manipulated. If they don't want to talk about it, no one will talk about it. So, but the thing is this, but on the flip side, the US now has hit 70% COVID vaccination milestone. So which means that 70% of the US adults now have minimally one shot of the COVID-19 vaccine. So of course, we hope that this will actually show that with the vaccine, the people are fine. But of course, if let's say the number still doesn't do well, or the number increases, then that is going to be a problem, right? Okay, so that's pretty cool for US. They already administrated a lot. They're doing about 660,000 a day. Wow, that's a lot, man. Okay, so apparently it's widespread, like everywhere is doing it. So that's good, that's good. Now, the thing is, this is outside market, but I just couldn't understand this. This is only just a outside market thingy. Third police officer, Gunther, basically, right, dies by suicide after defending Capitol during the riot by pro-Trump mob. So apparently now, right, another officer killed himself because they happened to be one of the people who defended the US Capitol. We have Jeffrey and Howard. They also died by suicide after a month of attack. I mean, I don't know why. If you look at this guy, look at his face. Does he look like a guy who wanted to kill himself? Seriously, I can't find any good reason. So I don't know what is happening. And look at it. He's such a devoted, loving father and husband, and everything's all in his favor. So why would he want to kill himself? So sometime in life, right? Okay, I just have put a big question mark here. It's outside the market. I know I shouldn't do this, but when I see this news, I just feel like sharing with you. You know, sometimes life is not that simple. Okay. All right, so what are the reasons to stay bullish right now in the market? Well, we have this right now. Apparently, these are the gentlemen who say that the market is supposed to be very bullish. I think my PowerPoint wasn't done properly. Never mind, let me just play you the video right now. Take a look. Sorry, let me make this volume louder.
How do you think this bull market is? I think that you were going to see a little bit of a crack in it, but things are a little too bad everywhere. There's a lot of cracks here. I would expect a little bit of pullback. I probably will, but valuations are still high. And I think if you go through the summer and you see the market work, and you see the economy actually, I think the stock market is a little bit ahead of itself. Not to say that at the end of the year, I think we're going to do fine, and I think the market's going to be up. But unless the markets are pullback, there's a good opportunity. Yeah, I think if you especially if you're paying profits for people, you want to have to go to the total. So that's pullback is what is wrong. because I'm thinking that's going to go to 50% plus. There's also near-term catalyst to that bill with a event coming up in September. I think when we put all this together, this is a turnaround plus path in the next couple of years. And even though it's so obvious, there's other big categories coming to that, of course, healthcare, this matter. And just quickly, a second question on the this time. It's a lot of attention, but still, I don't think at full potential, which is Tesla and artificial intelligence day coming up later this month. This is a quick fun takeaway is that there's a lot of talk about the tree of growth in the last big picture is that Tesla is the only company of big tech, Microsoft included, that has seen a remarkable acceleration from around at the end of 2018 to 30%. Let's talk about Amazon. We do. I think that they really embraced the bad news. They flushed a lot of the negativity in terms of what's going on with the hard comps. And obviously, we've got a new CEO that may be running at 10% expectations. At the end of the day, it's very simple. No one's going to compete with Amazon. There's less than 15% is broad online today. This is things that we always know. It seems painful obvious, but I think that Amazon has a lot of opportunity. We also have 1.2 million employees. There's a huge opportunity to bring in more automation to
Okay, I just saw Carl say that the sound is distorted. Sometimes it does happen, depending on the speed of Wi-Fi. So basically what happened is that they are, although this article is supposed to be on the negative side, but the way they ended the video was they're very positive. So which means that they're trying to say that company like Amazon, they feel that it's going to still go up because it's unparalleled. There's no other competitors can go near to Amazon. Then they talk about Tesla. Well, Tesla, they say that Tesla should be going higher because of the their potential in different sectors. So it's possible. So in short, it's not they want to cover Apple, they cover Microsoft. So in overall, is that they are tell you that the market is still pretty good for buying. So that is what is happening there. For those who cannot hear it, I will try to upload later on to our Anything Under the Sun group. Okay. Now this guy, Jim, he is definitely very bullish. He's very, very bullish. So he's a partner of this Citi partners, all right? So he's also managed portfolio for clients and stuff like that. So let's watch what he has to offer. Jim.
You say, all my chips are on the table. How can you get bearish here? Well, we got two of them statement last week. We knew what the tech stocks did. We reported them. We kind of busy again. But you know what? Underneath that, stock market S&P 500 stock, you know, this is right at an all-time high. I think it's going to go better this week as the non-tech names report. So looking at that portfolio, I've got non-tech names like General Motors, Marathon Petroleum, Vodafone, CBS, all of which, if you look at the business fundamentals, they've just been investors and they show no signs of letting up. So what I'm seeing here, and the reason that all my chips are on the table, is the rally is rebroken. We saw that the first few months of the year up to May, and then March got turned to back. But I think you're ready to see the rest of the market come back in. Yes, this is where that value versus growth rotation, but I think we got a better. I mean, yes, we should be worried about the Delta variant, but it doesn't seem to be impacting economic growth. We've got infrastructure that's set to come. We've still got a very accommodating Fed with no sign of getting accomplished anytime soon, at least as far as I'm seeing. So I just don't see how you can not be bullish here. I know there's a bears out there, but I just think they're getting flat out wrong about profits. We're 90% higher than a year ago in terms of profits. And this is I'm not understanding it exactly like I'm not living it. You got those kind of glasses on too? I don't know. Whatever. What are the Chileans doing today? Stocks are about to give up all of their gains on the day. I know it's all S&P's about 287. The NASDAQ is still high by 1.1%. What's up with that, Jim? What's up with that? It's a good question, but I think that we're just got to answer that it's the Fed with their time on the scale. As far as giving up gains, for the morning, we've seen so many times that this market reverses intraday. I would be absolutely happy about where we end the day, the week, the month, and the year. And we have to notice that we are less than 1% from all-time high on the S&P 500. Let me simplify this. Profits are coming in much better than expected. The growth rate is much better than expected. It just shows no sign of stopping. It's about profits. Keep it there. It's about profit.
Okay, right. So apology if you notice that during the video there was something pop up right at this top corner. After that, something that was because you know why? I was so tired that my hand went over there and clicked on one of the mouse thingy, and then the recording was still ongoing. Yes, because in order to record all this video, I have to switch it on and then record it, extract. It's not an extracted script. It's actually I have to physically there to record it off on the screen. So sometimes I'm so tired, my hand just will wander around. And then after that, that is where the thing comes in. All right, so that is how much I struggle this morning. Apology on that. The other thing is that, as you can hear from what Jim says, okay, Lebenthal, all right, that's a very interesting name. He says that, right, okay, it's all about earnings. Earnings, S&P is at 1% from the high. So why are we bothered? So we have a very dovish, Federal Reserve. We have the COVID now, although it's ongoing, but it's recovering in a way. So he's not wrong. Being a bullish guy, his answer was pretty correct. It's just that when he was being asked that, hey, but the market's coming down now, the yield's coming down right now, what are you to say? But his point is this, well, this is just very normal. End of the day, the market is just 1% away from the all-time high. Just stick with the flow and seriously remember it's about earnings and earnings and earnings. So of course, if you look at it from that perspective, I would say the answer is not really, because if you look at S&P 500 right now, you notice that, right, it's only some of the handful of companies are doing pretty well. The remaining companies, right, the market breadth actually is going down. So if you're talking about just seriously holding on the earnings of the five main tax company and the one that's going up, maybe yes, he's right. But you're talking about the entire market, well, again, it's always a personal thingy. All right. Okay, so that is from Jim. Okay, so now we have at Yardeni. Yeah, he is another bull. He believes that, right, he doesn't believe in falling yields are going to send a warning signal. He believes that this will still be good. Okay, so he is very interesting. I just don't buy the story that the economy is slowing down. He don't buy that. And that's what the bond market is telling us. So it's very interesting here because everybody thinks that, right, the bond market now, the yields coming down is because the economy is not doing well. But he said no, okay? He said no, let's continue what he said. He felt that, right, the recent decline, which went down to as low as 1.5%, is basically the fact that we're seeing peak earnings growth. We see peak growth in economy, but we're just talking about peak growth rate. We're not talking about negative growth rate. Oh, okay. So we're talking about slowing growth rates. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay. So he says that, right, stock valuation do not necessarily need to be compressed just because of earning growth in future quarters. May not be as robust as what companies are reporting for quarter that ended June 30th. And he said that S&P is now trading at 22 times forward earnings, so it's actually the same multiple than last year. Okay, when I read this itself, right, I just, of course, he's an expert here. He runs a company, you know, so I have no right to question him. But I am baffled by the point he says that the S&P now is 22 times forward earnings and the same multiple. Okay, but do you know that the S&P back then was not this price? The time it was at 3,400. Today it's at 4,400. So I kind of like a bit of question mark here. Number two, he says that now it's not about this slowing growth. It's not about hitting negative growth. I think before we hit negative, we will slow down first, right? I mean, red, then we need to from green, then turn amber to red, right? I mean, you need to have that happening first, right? So all I can say is this: he believed that the corporate earning will continue to expand, even though at a lower rate. He felt that this is still in the history book because technology is out there to argument. That one I agree. That is the thing that everybody knows. It is the technology that's going to lead the market. So the question is, why are interest rates going to stay low? The answer is because productivity is already been making a big comeback. Okay, I don't know where it gets number from. It's going to be a big offset to the shortage of labor. He believed that the wage will go up. I believe so too. and then that will offset productivity, and then that will bring the real wage go up. So that is like, telling you that later on, as long as the interest rate stays low, productivity will come back later on, and that will offset the labor market. And of course, then that comes in, productivity goes up, then there's a high chance wage will go higher. When wage go higher, people spend more money, then the entire economy will recover. So this is a really, really economic 101 thingy, all right? Only the question is, will it actually happen? So maybe Federal Reserve also see from this point, and that's why he probably can explain to you why the market is still very bullish, okay? So I give you the reason for staying in the bull side. So if you buy on that itself, right, then you can actually go and find he got a full video. That's about 22 minutes long. You can watch what he say. Well, interesting stuff, but of course, it's up to you to decide. All right, now this is the thing right here now about gold. Now, we have shown you, right, this is the global volume of negative yielding debt. Okay, so in short, when the negative yielding debt is uprising, the gold price goes up. All right, that makes a lot of sense. But recently, we saw that the negative yield debt is actually increasing, but the gold haven't really moved yet. So the question is this now, we have $16 trillion. All right, is it the time for gold to chase after it? Because if gold is to chase after it, right, gold should be going to 2,000. But we notice that gold have been staying around at 1,800 and been for some time already. So what is actually holding back? So that's why I say there is some problem in the economy right now, but it won't stay this way too long. It's either that the negative yield come back down or suddenly gold shoot up. So that's why, as I say, traders, if you don't mind to hold positions, you can consider buy some gold and hope for the best. If not, you wait for a pullback of a significant level, consider that you can buy. All right. Now, this is to show you that the yesterday when the ISM missed, the data came in, it was a miss. You can see that immediately the yield came down, right? So when the yield came down, by logic, that is where gold should be, technically going up. But gold went up a little bit, but after that, it came back down again. So don't really have the down impact that you are seeing, okay? So you can see that when the ISM data wasn't there, the yield started to go down because obviously that means that the economy is not doing that well. But of course, different people, different view, so I just leave that. Okay, so we're going to cover to the end of today's MAO, that will be the alternate market views. All right, are you still here? There's 38 of you guys now, okay? All right, so let's look at the market, shall we? Now, first of all, you can see very, very clearly now, this is what you can see, the Citi Economic Surprise Index indicator that I'm showing last few days, right? Now, the green line is the one that included yesterday ISM level, and you can see the ISM figure went down, right? So when the ISM figure went down, you can see that usually that will bring down further the US, so the Citi Economic Surprise. So now it's seemingly like they are finally getting in the right direction. So with this plus this, that's why the stock market goes down, right? Well, not necessary. You can see that the PMI number is still going up. So all I can tell you is this, guys. Normally they move in tandem, but ever since September last year until now, something is not going correctly. So that's why you need to be very careful moving forward. Now, I've been calling for buy on the VIX Index. Not too sure how many of you have bought the VIX together. AIMS is looking to actually do VIX soon. AIMS is looking to do VIX soon. They are trying to get the LPs involved because I told them, we share with them that, right, our traders are looking to do some VIX trading. So they are getting back to us. Once we have any new update, we inform you. But what is cool is that you can see, right, from the mid of June to July, you can see that the VIX stays between 15 to 16. Then after that, the explosive went up to 25. Then also very fast, it was brought back. But when this time when it brought back, right, you notice that the low got higher each round. Can you see that? The low got higher. So today, it closed about 19 level. I suspect that it will try to test 21 again. And if it tests 21 again, likely it's because the volatility in the stock market causes it to happen. And if it goes continue, I'm still looking at 26 to 28 level for the VIX for the upside, okay? So for traders, you can consider to look at for a good opening for buying and keeping, all right? Now you can see that these are the US state new home sales. The new home sales are definitely going down. It's very, very clear that the numbers are going down. So that's the reason why the people say, oh, because there's lesser supply. I think that is a lot of BS because you look at the statistics, This shows that the supply is there. So the supply is there, but the sales are lesser because lesser people paying for these homes. That's a very important thing. And look at the way the price shoot up in terms of the prices. Now, all the way the last 20 years, the price has been quite within normality. Suddenly, this year itself, wow, look at it, it's doubled the of prices compared to the last 10, 20 years. So that's the reason why, again, people actually don't make money or they're actually tightening their belt. And of course, the real yield has dropped to record low level, the real yields, while the economy inflation is up. Now, normally inflation up, the real yield follow through. But the problem is now we have the real yield coming down and the inflation going up. So why is that happening? Because Federal Reserve has basically tried to push down the real yield to prevent the double whammy on the inflation with the interest rate. All right, so that is whereby traders need to take note of that. And that's the reason why I will say for month of August, please be very careful. Market can be pretty volatile. Please take care and have a great day. This is Cal signing off. Today, whether do we have this Super Tuesday, we will have, but it will be at a much later time because I have something on at about 2:30 today. Okay, so I wish you all the best, guys. See you guys online. This is Cal signing off. Bye-bye.